Oke, bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So today in this video, welcome back with me, the student from IDN Boarding School. And now we will do some maybe podcast or just do conversation. But before that, let us introduce ourselves first. Okay, so start from me. My name is Ihsan Ahmad Fakriansyah. A lot of people call me Ihsan, and I am the one of member in here. Okay, so continue from the list.
Okay. Hello, my name is Abdurrahman Ilyasa. Ordinary people call me Ilyas or Ilyasa. Yeah. Next.
Okay, hello, my name is Muhammad Kenan Abigail, and preferably you can call me Kenan or Ken. And I'm a student here too, and I'm part of the team to do the podcast here.
Okay, thank you guys for introduce. So now we will continue to start the podcast, right? So our title is sharing overseas program. So now we will talk about maybe just from our experience is teaching to abroad. Okay, before the first is who want the first to share?
There's anyone have go abroad for teaching? Maybe just you.
Okay,
Me, Isan, forced me to say.
okay. Kenan, you can tell story.
Okay, so I have teach abroad on 9th grade of junior high school here at SMP IDN, or junior high school of IDN boarding school. And it was very sudden. I was sick on my house, and I got called by one of my home teachers. Back then, he was a Dinian teacher or a religion teacher. It's Ustaz Afif. And then when I was sick, I got called, and when I answered, I was shocked because he offered me to, or no, not offered me, but he says that I was a delegate to teach on Malaysia by the Indonesian government. So I was pretty much surprised, especially I was still 15 back then, and it was the first teachings that go abroad by IDN Board School. And since it was the first one, and I didn't pay for anything, pretty much I only give coverage for my own savings or my own treats. So I accepted it, and I went to my father and mother, and I pretty much prepared everything from passports to all the stuff like outfits and any others, and also the itinerary for the schedules there. And yeah, me and one of my friends, now I don't know where he is, but he was from branch of IDN. It was on Pamijahan, and we get to know each other. His name was Hazim. And then we got picked that we will be advised by one of our teacher from 8th grade, which is Pasodik. So the three of us go to Malaysia, specifically Johor Bahru, because the school was there. And then we went on taxi to the hotel on Johor Bahru, basically near the school, but it's still far away because from there to the school it was like 20 minutes walking until we pretty much found another shortcut on the third day to the school. So yeah, I teach from the 7th grade, oh no, from the 1st grade to the 12th grade, and the material was varies from like for the 1st to 6th grade, it's just a computer basic for the beginners because they're still children, and then to 7th to 9th grade, I teach about Tinkercad or something that makes like 3D stuff designs. And then for the 10th to 12th grade, I teach about websites, and I make websites on Wix.com. and I teach them for all of them from like first to 12th grade for a week, and it was a very long teaching, especially that I was the one presenting, so I was very much exhausted, and that's why I decided to. When I go home, it was like 3 days before Ramadan starts, so it was on March back then, on 2023. And actually, it was pretty exhausting, so I took like a week rest on my house, and then go back to IDN or Ramadan, and then come back on the 10 days before Eid. Something like that. What about you guys?
Apparently, I don't have any like that. Isan, there is.
Okay, so actually there is when I start senior high school in here, there is a lot of opportunities for teaching abroad. Our teacher from headmaster, there's always send the information about teaching abroad, like in Malaysia, in Mesir, and the last is in Belanda. But from the all of opportunities, I have sent my interest to form, but until now I never get opportunities. Like I have sent my interest to opportunities in teaching abroad at Kinabalu, teaching abroad at Cafe Gerik, and others. But until now, I never get opportunities.
Okay. So basically, since we're talking about sharing overseas program, I think we should talk about IDN Backpacker.
Okay, I didn't make part.
So we basically have a program which is now ongoing, but we didn't choose to attend on the program because maybe we start from each other reasons. So let's start on it. That's first. What's the reason you didn't go to backpacker?
The only reason maybe I think it's too expensive for me. I don't think for them all, but for me that is too expensive. And I have heard that people have joined to there is there's a trouble for learning. So that's why I here and didn't following the backpacker. And Nisan?
From me myself, when there is announcement from teacher, there is IDN backpacker 10 country in second semester of 11th grade. When I heard that announcement, I am very interested to join. When I always after the announcement, I send the announcement to my parents. I talk to my parents, but my parents say that I cannot join the IDN backpacker 10 country because there is the problem is about money, because my parents don't have enough money for join backpacker, because we already know that backpacker is very expensive. Backpacker maybe is need minimum 50 million or more until 100 million rupiah. So because of that, I not join IDN backpacker 10 country in 11th grade. And how about you, Kenneth?
Okay, so for me, I have a lot of reasons. Like first of all, it's obviously about money, like with two others. I mean, it was pretty expensive. Also, that we pretty much can, any of our parents can afford to make that come true for us. But I do think that it's not really worth it if you are actually cutting off your curriculum or your material for like one semester, which is very crucial, especially that it's the last semester that we're attending on IDN boarding school, and after that we're going to have an internship outside, right? And I do think that it's better to prepare for your career rather than to follow backpacker. I mean, it's good. There's like a plus and minus, especially in terms of experience. I do think that with the money you get in internship, especially if you focus for like 6 months here, you can do solo traveling. Like I have been planning my whole days. Like after internship, like before I go to university, I want to have a solo traveling because one of the reasons that I cannot solo travel now, which I mean I can have the savings, I have the savings on my house, is because I'm not 18 yet, and I think it's better to wait for next February to solo traveling. My my target is to like travel around as Asian first, and then after that I will go around Asia, and then maybe to Europe, preferably Italy. But yeah, I mean that will take a long time. I think that's in my 20s, but I do think I will explore in terms of the Southeast Asia first. And yeah, so the reason I will shorten it. The first one is money. The second is like the time, and then the third one is study over experience.
Okay, yeah. Think the out of our reason, the main reason is about money, right?
Yes.
Then we must prepare for internship in 12th grade because if we backpacker, the preparation for internship is not enough because we always do go outside and not enough for learning. But actually in 12th grade there will be IDN backpacker 3 countries in after internship, right? Okay, yeah, we know that this not we should join IDN backpacker, not like now IDN backpacker in 11th grade is optional, but in 12th grade the all of student in 12th grade must join IDN backpacker 3 countries because IDN backpacker in 12th grade is need our money from internship. So we collect the money from internship. After that, we join IDN. We must join IDN backpacker 3 countries. Okay, maybe that's all for our story from IDN backpacker. Yeah.
The last maybe scholarship board. For scholarship board, what do you think? Maybe you find something for make you easy scholarship or getting a board. Maybe start from Kenan.
So for scholarship abroad, I think I'm very interested. I have one university I'm going for, and I have been preparing for like. I think the last time I was there is like on January 2026 before I apply for it. I will be preparing for a lot of stuff like Bimbel, and also maybe like and also IELTS, yeah, IELTS for university present, and maybe that's like. What about you? Are you interested?
So for scholarship program, now I just still planning for my future of go to university. I have planned in abroad and in country in Indonesia only. Yeah,
National.
in national. So my parents have give me some plan university that I can go, but my parents have very want me to go to Saudi university, very like in Universitas Islam Madinah, Universitas King Khalid, Universitas King Abdulaziz, and others. My parents very want me to go to that university, but it's okay if I cannot get in Saudi. If I have my own interest, like maybe in other country, like in Malaysia, Singapore, in Japan, Korean, and others. My parents, yeah, just follow my own interest. But my parents, yeah, it's okay if I want choose in national university. Like my parents hope me can go to UI, but I think that is very hard to join Universitas Indonesia, can join the other university in national. Okay, so how about you?
Actually, I have a plan for abroad, but I think again because I have one older brother and one little sister. For abroad, maybe that's hard if I didn't get the scholarship. Maybe it can, but I must using my own money. Like I must after I getting access at the country, I must searching again for internship or working. Yeah, because the gap of my brother, me, and my sister is not too long, so that's my parents is like need more money for pay the fee of school. So maybe I just in national first, maybe like UI, ITB or Telkom.
Okay, so that is our story from planning study abroad, right?
Okay, maybe we go to maybe what university interests us. Okay, so from Isan, what is your dream university?
So before I tell my university, I want to share my story when I join Ichan Educational Expo. The all of you have joined, right?
Yes.
So before I join this expo, this Chan event, I have planning some university that I want to join. Like before I say there's in Saudi, in Universitas Islam in Madinah. I'm very interested to go to him because the out of people say in this university is very good for you to learn about religion in Islam. And in UIM too, now there is a major of IT technology, and it make me very interested to can be joined in UIM. But the all of us know there is not easy to join UIM. There is only lucky is not just from our achievement, our learning point, it's from our lucky too. Our pray and pray and how Allah accept us to accept me to join UIM or not. And in Saudi, I have not just UIM for my goals to university. There is a university King Khalid. There is it's very very near in Mekah. Why I very interested to University King Khalid? Because in this university, because I have some teacher, especially dormitory teacher in my junior high school, have get scholarship in University King Khalid, and I am always my dormitory teacher always give me story when he in university, when he easy to can umroh, to can open badal umroh every week, every month, and that make me interested to can in King Khalid. And my my teacher is give to me opportunities, like he will want to teach me if I want to King Khalid University. And the third in my university that I want in Saudi is King Abdulaziz, because in King Abdulaziz is the one of top university in Saudi Arabia. So, and coming to my story that in Asian Education Expo, when I go to the event, that make my mind open to the all of university in the world. Like I enter to join APU, Asia Pacific University. In there is many branch, but I enter to join in Malaysia, APU Malaysia. Because when I come to Asian Educational Expo, APU is the most popular, most visit booth for most visit booth is very make the many people interest, and I very want to come APU. Yeah, I think there is many university that I visit in Chan Educational Expo, but I forgot the all of university. I just remember APU, Raffles, and yeah, I forgot. Raffles University in Malaysia is focused on IT too. That make me interest. So, this is my story for study abroad, my university that I want. So, for next one, tell.
Maybe Kenan first.
Okay, so I am currently interested in one university. So let me tell you a story first. I was in this holiday. I actually was searching about universities, especially that I got a lot of free time from being on site, on doing Ujicom, and I think it was very boring because I was alone in my house. And whenever I was alone, I either hang out or I get some fresh air, or maybe I just explore new stuff alone because I cannot really stay still, and I need to do something to make myself feel relief or maybe entertain. And yeah, so I actually just bumped into a website on social media. I mean, on social media, I bumped into a website about universities, and it was Scoters. And there's an event where I go to consult about studying abroad, and I think that it was very interesting. Like it covers up about like why, and also how to, and also the requirements to go to abroad. And I'm interested to like go alone and apply alone. I mean, apply alone without any consulting like Scoters to get a scholarship abroad. And I was searching for a country, and then after all of the things that I researched, I was having one country that catch my eye. It was actually China. Why? Because out of every country that it possibly gives scholarships, like China, and also US, and also Canada, and many others like Turkey. Turkey actually have a really cheap fee rather than Indonesian national universities, which I was pretty much interested, but I think it's too far and also not really that effective. And since I'm going for the knowledge instead of the good living and stuff, like, I mean, if you go to Turkey, it will be more and more cooler than actually going to China. But after seeing Aisha Speaks live stream, and I think China is actually very good. So after a lot of consideration, I actually chose China. And one university in Shenzhen actually caught my eye, and I think I have got what it takes to apply there. So in Shenzhen, there's a university called Harbin Institute of Technology. And after further research, like actually watching the stadium from far away, it's actually very good. And since I'm into sports, having a lot of those sports fields, and also the sports center, and also I see that the dormitory has a gym too, which I'm very much into. Catch my eye actually. Out of the most universities in other countries or in China particularly, in this university, I think I will be focusing on it, and I have done my research on how to apply and also how to get the scholarship, and also maybe I will take the one that gives me monthly funds like to buy foods and other, and also pay for my dormitory. And I actually see that dormitory is paid monthly, and I will be having roommates, which is very cool because I have been talking a lot to strangers when I was on Vietnam last week. Yeah, last 2 weeks I was on Vietnam. I talk a lot to Italians, U.S. people, Americans, and British people, which is actually pretty funny to talk to. Yeah, I think I want to go to China and to Harbin Institute of Technology. Yeah, that's the only thing that I will go for. And if I fail, I will pretty much go nationally. But I don't want to go to UI. I want to like go to Venus and something like that. Okay, so what about yours?
For me, maybe I don't have any university that specific, but I think I have one country that make me interest, and because of their scholarship, like Japan. Japan is have a lot of scholarship. Start from the ordinary until you can get a lot of money from that scholarship. And but in Japan, you is hard to find job because yeah, you know, maybe like that.
Okay, so the all of us have tell our
Specific college.
our university. So after we tell about scholarship in abroad, I want to ask to all of you and me too later how things that we must prepare for get scholarship in abroad. Okay, so start from yeah.
Okay, so actually every college has their own requirements, and I've done my research on Harbin, and I think I'll be preparing for a lot of stuff. Like first of all, IELTS, just some English certification. There's a lot of options like IELTS, TOEFL, and Duolingo, and I just searched that they can use Duolingo tests to actually apply, which is pretty much great, especially if your grades is above 100 on the Duolingo test. And it can also be used for work as well, which is very good. I mean, it's multi-purpose like any other certificates. But after hearing that Duolingo can be used, it's actually pretty much surprising. And when I checked, it's also very expensive like the other certifications. But I think I will go for IELTS because the one that I choose is the English taught program, which is will be taught in English instead of Chinese. And if I use the Chinese taught, I need HSKT, like something that the TOEFL or the IELTS of China. And when I saw the tests on how Indonesians work on it, and I think I will regret doing that. So I just choose the English taught and maybe learn some Mandarin. Because the alphabets of Mandarin really sucks. Not respectfully, it really sucks on how to read. It will get you confused, especially if you're a beginner. And I think instead of stressing for like 6 months, I will just choose the English taught one. Especially that it's the most basics one, and it's mostly universal instead of going for the China one or the Mandarin one. So yeah, prepare for the English certifications or the language certifications needed on the university. And after that, you will need motivation letter. So back then, we have made our own motivation letter. It's a mock motivation letter actually, but I think it's a good practice for us, especially if you want to go to college instead of working on a corporate. And yeah, it's a pretty good experience that IDN provided this kind of task, so I can have an early development of it.
Okay, next Yes.
Okay, maybe I think until every scholarship, or maybe if you want to abroad, the first thing you need is like TOEFL or good English at least, because a lot of school in abroad is use their own language, and at least you can learning their language using English. Maybe the first thing I will uh, prepare is first English. After that, I need a lot more of learning of subject, another subject, because some of university is using the regular subject as the minimum criteria too. And yeah, the last maybe like Kenan say is motivation letter. And how about Isan?
Okay, so for me myself, now I still not enough plan for my study abroad to get scholarship, but there is two things that I know that's very important if I want to get scholarship. There is English. I hope that when I in 12th grade I can more upgrade my English, because I know me now there is still very bad in English, and my English now is not enough if I want to go study abroad. So I need to upgrade my English. And the second, I need to learn general studies, because the from 5 years at boarding school, I very long time not learn about general studies, like learn about mathematics, science, and others. And I know I need this subject. I need this knowledge for I can get a scholarship to study abroad. Yeah, there is two things that now I must prepare for go to study abroad. Okay, I think enough ya for podcast about overseas program. Thank you for watching this very long podcast, guys. I hope that you can get a lot of benefit from our podcast. See you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.